Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm actually going to be doing this voiceover and kind of using some everyday products that I normally use in my routine, and I'm going to be sharing this look with you. It's kind of like a chocolate smoky kind of eye, but the star of the show is this Stila vivid smoky quartz type of it's like a glittery type eyeshadow. It's really beautiful. I actually found this eyeshadow on clearance at TJ Maxx. And you know, I tell you guys all the time that that is my jam, that is my spot. But I am just priming my lids and getting them ready for these dark shadows. And I'm using my e.l.f. concealer brush. You guys know how much I love that brush. It is very affordable. I will link that brush down below. Here I'm going into my Tarte Princess palette. And I'm going in with that first shade right there just to kind of put all over the lid. I'm still using the same exact brush, which is my concealer brush. And it is just like an versatile, handy tool brush that I reach for quite often. And I'm just covering the lid, giving my eyes a very smooth base so that once I start adding those shadows, they're not going to be patchy. Guys, I'm going in with this deeper shade right here in this Tarte palette. This palette was actually a gift from one of my students, and I just love the palette because it's very versatile. You can also do some contouring and or some kind of bronzing your face with it a little bit. I'm going in with my Morphe brush there, and I will link this brush down below. I want to say this is my Morphe, let's see, my Morphe M503 brush. It's kind of like my new baby, my new best friend type of brush. It's just really crease work I use that brush for. And my skin has already been primed, and I'm using the Lit From Within e.l.f. primer, which is a blur to kind of blur out my pores around my T-zone. Usually that's the only place I use primers like that. I am a combo oily skin kind of girl, and those primers really help kind of just mattify me down a little bit more. So here I'm kind of going into that crease, and I'm just doing those windshield wiper motions, going back and forth, and just making sure that I get everything in the crease. And I just continue to do that until I build up enough color in the crease. And guys, I tell you, blending is what turns eyeshadow into magic. So I do a lot of blend work when I'm sitting in front of the camera. Even when I'm not doing videos and I'm just doing my makeup for the day, I do a lot of blending. Here I'm going in with the Profusion Cosmetics Mixed Metals palette. And guys, I'm actually going to go in with that color right there in the middle. It is called Tricky. I love this palette. There are 9 shades of mattes and metals, and it is absolutely gorgeous. I got this palette, you will not believe, for $2.99 at my TJ Maxx. I know, right? TJ Maxx, I tell you guys, you're sleeping on this TJ Maxx. I wet the brush just a little bit just to make sure that I was gonna get the full effect of that color Tricky and just how chocolatey it is. And so I'm gonna go back in and I'm gonna keep going into that color just so I can build up how deep I want the very lower lid of my eye to be. So here I'm using a little bit of the e.l.f. tape. You don't have to buy these. This is just something that I picked up. I wanted to try. There are some little e.l.f. strips, and they're like, I want to say $2 for, and I like maybe 10 or 20 strips. I actually cut them in half, and you can see e.l.f. right there on the end of the strip where I tore it. But I'm just putting that so I can give myself a little bit more of a clean line. As you can see, this color is a little bit more darker. It is a little deeper, and that is what I'm looking for with this. And so this color is just really nice. This is kind of my second time using this Profusion palette. I'm always on the hunt for some really good affordable palettes, and that is what my channel is really focused on, is finding those drugstore palettes at Ulta, at CVS, at Walgreens, those different places that can kind of give you the bang for your buck. I'm constantly, every time I go on TJ Maxx and Marshalls, I'm gonna constantly look to see what they have on their shelves over there. And this Stila is actually one of my second purchases from Stila that I found there at TJ Maxx. And I want to say I bought both of them at TJ Maxx. One is a pretty pink iridescent type color, and the other one is like a smoky quartz, chocolatey, bronzy, gorgeous color. So I'm actually going in back with that color Tricky, and I'm just going to deepen up the outer edges of the outer third of my eye, just to kind of deepen that up even more and give it with the effect that I'm looking for. I don't want you ladies to be afraid of, you know, using those darker colors, or just afraid of using those colors that may be kind of frightening on your eye just because maybe you don't know how to use them very well. But you see how the line just created just a more straight line I could work with, and I just absolutely love it. So I'm going in again, like I said, with that deeper color, and then I'm going to line my eyes with my favorite liner. And guys, you know this is the Makeup Revolution Flick Liner. I've actually had this liner probably, I want to say, almost about 6 months now. It lasts so long. It is easy to glide on. That's the beauty I've loved about this liner. It is so easy to work with. I can use it going from the left to the right on the same line. I just think that it is so affordable. It is less than $10, and to say it has lasted me so long is like a dream. And so it is just, you know, it shows up really well. It dries down very well. It just has really good qualities about it that I love, and it is worth the $9 that it is. The grip on the liner, I think, is what kind of sold me first. There are some liners out there that they've been very hard for me to hold on to, or just give my eye a good line. I may be shaky and cannot make it straight, but this allows me just a lot of control. Here is the star of the show, which is my Stila, and it is so gorgeous. And so I'm gonna put that in my right there on the lower lid a little bit, and I'm gonna pat it with my finger. I don't want to go really wild with it just because I don't want to add too much. I want to be very easy with this so that I can control how much product is on my eye. And so controlling it allows me to get the kind of look that I was looking for. I mean, just look at how gorgeous that bronzy type of color that is in that little bottle. And so I continue to use my finger. Remember, your hands are your tools as well. I just think that the finger kind of melts it in and does a better job of dispersing the product on the eye. And so I just love, love, love this Stila. So here I'm gonna line my eyes with the NYX Jet Black Liner. I had a few friends ask me about how did I feel, or actually about liners that were that glide on very easily, that didn't really have a super oily base, and they kind of stayed put where they were once they were on. I found that this NYX is really jet black, and it glides on so nicely, and it really does stay put. It doesn't bleed. And guys, there is my e.l.f., which I'm putting a little bit more on my cheeks before I put my foundation on. And this is the Lit from Within. I love this stuff. I want to say it was like maybe $3. And notice that I'm just concentrating this in my T-zone. And this is the area where I get the most oily. And so I just kind of concentrate it right there and make sure that I cover that area before I start laying the foundation down. So here I'm going to go in with the e.l.f. foundation that I've been using. It's the e.l.f. Flawless Foundation, and I've been using mine in the color Honey. There was another color that was right next to this that I thought was not sure if it was my color or not, This one is a little bit on the lighter side, but it works. This is a matte foundation, and I just feel as though that this foundation has let me, or allowed me, to be a little bit more matte lately than some of the other ones that I've been using. But as far as my L'Oreal 24 Hour Fresh, that one is still at the very top of my list. The brush that I'm using is the Tarte Kabuki brush, which is a really nice brush, and it does a great job of evening my skin out, evening out the foundation onto my skin. And I probably could have taken maybe even a shade a little bit darker, but once I kind of start putting down the bronzer and all of those things, it kind of just evens itself out. So here I'm going in with the e.l.f. contour palette in the shade Dark, and so I'm going to contour with the cream contour a little bit right there following my cheek line, and I'm just going to do that just so I can make sure that I give myself a really nice contour. I've enjoyed using this, and I've also enjoyed using the Maybelline Fit Me contour. I use it as a contour in the color 355 Coconut, and so you'll see that I'll actually pull that one out a little bit once I kind of get this blended in. I think this is also a very affordable palette that I feel as though that has done a great job with their drugstore makeup. This was actually purchased at Target. I didn't order this online. It actually, you know, was really, really nice. I want to say it was about $6 for the one at Target. There's some other ones where the shades are a little bit lighter. I kind of use this Maybelline Fit Me Coconut in the color Coconut, which is the number 355, to kind of mix in with the e.l.f. It kind of balances me out a little bit. So, you know, I love these brushes, guys. I mentioned this brush in a blog post, 8 of the hardest working makeup brushes that I have. And really, it really just circulates around 8 of them because I abuse them, and I put them to use so well. I really love this brush. This is by Eco Tools, and it kind of just really contours and bronzes me the way I like to be bronzed. So I'm going in to kind of set my face a little bit, and guys, I'm using the NYX Banana Powder and HD Powder, and so I go in with a big beauty brush that I was actually purchased at TJ Maxx, and so I'm going in with that brush, and I'm just kind of buffing that all into my skin and making sure that I am mattified and everything is kind of set in place. And I just absolutely love this brush because it's big, it's fluffy, and it just gets the job done. So I'm using my I actually forgot, wait a minute, this is like my little wax pencil, and it's actually by Milani. I cannot find this pencil anymore. I have looked for this pencil, and that is just setting my brows in place. I don't like to use any brow gel or anything like that, but it just kind of sets my brows in place. I go back over my contour just a little bit because I want to make sure that my contour is going to stand out, and to me it just kind of makes the makeup look even more flawless. So I'm just kind of setting that more so in place. I don't want to rub it all the way, but I kind of want to just press it in the skin so that it is there. And the good thing about the contour is that I'm going to go in with this L'Oreal Infallible Pro-Glo, and I'm going to conceal under my eyes. I usually don't drag the concealer as far anymore. I use my blender to kind of drag it, you know, out to the corners of my eyes. I don't think I really like to do that anymore, but I definitely will put just enough there between the creases of my nose and right there on my forehead and above my cupid's bow and my chin. And that seems to work. This formula here is really nice. It is not as drying as the L'Oreal Full Coverage Infallible Concealer, even though I just think that concealer is so picture ready. But this one is just a little bit more creamier, and it's not as, it doesn't oxidize as quickly on my skin as the other one does. But this one has been definitely a great runner-up for me to use when I don't want my skin to be just too dry and just, you know, rip all the moisture out of my skin. I find that the L'Oreal Infallible just kind of just really makes the moisture go away, but it does a great job of giving you that flawless looking pictures. But I'm using this and I'm just kind of, you know, making sure that I hit those spots that are need to be highlighted. And so guys, here's one of my favorite powders, and that's the Rimmerl Stay Matte powder. This powder does not give me any flashback, and I just love how smooth it is, and for the price I just can't beat it. It is almost empty. I've been using this. I kind of switch between this one and my collab powder that I purchased at Sally Beauty. That collab powder is a translucent powder. It has a little bit of a yellow undertone. It's called Set the Stage, and I've used it in several videos before. I've even used it in a video previous before this one. And here I'm kind of carving out my cheek to make sure that my bronzing and my contouring is more cut out and chiseled, and it looks a lot, you know, like it's been buffed out quite a bit. And so I kind of just leave that there and let it bake a little bit before I kind of brush everything away. And guys, what I've learned about making sure I set this translucent powder in place is not making too many facial expressions and just kind of pressing it in the skin so that it is it's nice and it shows really good quality photos and pictures. Here I'm going in with my favorite butter bronzer. I've hit pan on this. This stuff smells like a beach inside of a pan. It is coconuts. It smells like coconuts. It's really, really nice. I think it does a beautiful job bronzing me. I'm using it in the color Deep. See, it's just adding to what I've already laid down on my face. I've learned that over time, you know, especially in the summer, I can bronze my skin, you know, I'm looking like your favorite beach bunny, but just making sure that I hit those spots that give me that really kind of tawny tan and just kind of bronze me up in such a way. So here I'm just kind of wiping away the excess powder, and I just love the look that it gives once I brush it all away. So here I'm going in with the Wet n Wild Pearlescent Pink, and I'm using this Pearlescent Pink because it just gives me a wash of pink on my cheeks. I just love this. It's by Wet n Wild, and guys, this blush is so affordable. It's less than $5, and it is just a really nice blush. I thought it would go really well with my bronzy kind of eyes and just a very much of a lighter lip. And so here I'm trying the Rose Gold in the e.l.f. highlighter. I really like this because it gives me kind of that wet look on my skin a little bit. A little bit goes a long way, and anytime you feel as though that you have if you put too much, then you can always tone it down a little bit. And I just love this stuff. I mean, it doesn't to me show up as gold as I think it should, but I still think that it is a very good highlighter, and I think it does a very good job. I have not added any lashes yet, but I'm putting a little bit of that way beneath my brows up there in that space. Remember, I told you guys I have a lot of parking space for eyeshadow. And so I add a little bit to my nose and to my Cupid's bow there. I'm not gonna put on any loud lipstick or anything like that. I'm just gonna go in with my Tiramisu, and that'll be pretty much sum up this look for me. And guys, you know that I'm always, you know, here, and I want to tell you guys that I'm still using some very basic products, and I want you to realize that these products are things that I can get in the drugstore, and I'm going to always share drugstore items with you and make sure that you know that these items can do just as a wonderful job as some of the higher end products that I see out there that's floating around social media. I'm gonna buff out my lower lid. I'm gonna buff that out, not the lower lid, right below my waterline. I'm gonna buff that out. Guys, I'm going back into the color Tricky, and I'm just kind of using that. I'm using a Real Techniques kind of a domed shadow brush, and I'm just going right there on my lower waterline, and I'm just buffing that out a little. There are times when I do this, and there are times when I don't want to do this, but I definitely think that this look deserved a little bit of shadow on my lower waterline. So here I'm going in with a color called Serenity, and I'm going to touch my inner corner. I'm going to do a little inner corner highlight right there in my eyes by my tear ducts. I love that color Serenity. I wanted to choose something that was sparkly, not too pink and not too white or anything like that, but I definitely want to choose something that was really close to what I was trying to achieve. So now at the very top, I'm gonna add even just a little bit more of that color Serenity, just so that brow bone kind of stands out a little bit more. And I have to put a little bit of mascara on the very bottom of my lower. I can't add shadows to my lower lashes because they will be messed up. My lower lashes are pretty lengthy and they can go pretty far. I love a very tiny one. This is the Wet n Wild that I'm using here, and this is actually one of their newer mascaras. It's called Mega Length, and it's in this purple tube right here, and it is really nice, and I love the formula. So I'm kind of prepping my lashes to get ready for a little bit of some really nice lashes. And guys, the lashes that I use in this, I'm not quite sure of the name, but I will definitely link those lashes down below. And we got our lashes and we are ready to go. And so guys, I always want to tell you that I enjoy spending time with you on this channel. Don't forget to check Shopball 28. There have been new arrivals loading into Shopball 28. Here I'm still using my Tiramisu, which is by the NYX Butter Gloss. I love it. And in Shopball 28, we have some, like I said, new arrivals dropping. So make sure if you're not on the blog, or if you have not subscribed to the blog, make sure you get there and subscribe. I'm covering these lips with a little bit of that Shine 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 by Essence. But you guys know that I always love bringing you some kind of look. And I am finishing off this look with the Wet n Wild 3-in-1 Primer Water in Coconut because I just love the smell. I feel like I'm headed to the beach. I'm laughing because I'm enjoying this look. And I hope that you guys enjoyed this look as well. Until we meet again. Bye.